This is the question asked in today's skillrack daily challenge. So in the first line of our input, we are given two integers. The first integer is x and the second integer is y. So now we have to find the binary representation of both the integers. So first let us find the binary representation of the integer 7. So the integer 7's binary representation is 1 1 1. And then for the integer 10, the binary representation is 1 0 1 0. So now we have to concatenate these two binary integers. So we can concatenate the binary values in two ways. The first possible way is we can concatenate the binary of 10 to the binary of 7. So the resulting binary would be 111 1010. That is, we have added the binary representation of 10 to the binary representation of 7. So this is the first possible way of concatenating. And the another possible way is we should add the binary of 7 to the binary of 10. So when we do so, the concatenated would be 1010 So this is the second possible way of concatenating the binary values. So now we have to find the decimal value of both the concatenated binary representations, and we have to print the integer whose value is greater. So first let us find the decimal value of both the binary representations. So for the first binary representation, the decimal value is 122, and for the second binary representation, the decimal value is 87, and out of the integers 122 and 87, 122 is greater. So in our output we print 122. Now let us see how to write a C program for this. First I am creating two integer variables x and y, and in the next line I am accepting the values of the integers x and y, and then I am creating two character arrays. So the first character array is named concatenated bin 1, and the second character array is named concatenated bin 2. So we will be storing the concatenated binary representation of the integers x and y into these character arrays. So to do that, we will be making use of the sprintf function, because we have to store an integer into the character array. So the sprintf function can do this. So I am using two sprintf function. In the first sprintf function, within the arguments, I am passing the name of the first character array, concatenated bin 1. Within the double quotes, we have to give the specifier. So here the binary function will return long. So I am including 2%LD. So these two integers will now be concatenated and stored into the character array concatenated bin 1. And the source for the two long integers will be bin x and bin y. So these two functions return the long variable. So in the first sprintf function, we would have concatenated the binary representation of x and y, and the concatenated will be stored into the character array concatenated bin 1. Similarly, concatenated bin 2. Here we will be storing the binary representation of y and x. So the binary of y and binary of x will be concatenated, and the concatenated value will be stored into the character array concatenated bin 2. So earlier we stored the concatenation of x and y, now we are storing the concatenation of y and x. So this is the difference between both the character array. Now let us see how this function bin works. So this function is of return type long, and it accepts an integer n in its arguments. So this function returns the binary representation of the integer n. So to find the binary representation, first I am creating a new array named bin array of size 32 and another integer variable named L and setting its value to 0. So now I am creating a while loop. So this loop iterates until n becomes 0. In every iteration we will be storing n mod 2 into the array. So a bin array of L++ is equal to n mod 2, and also we will be dividing n by 2. So in every iteration n by is equal to 2. So after the execution of the loop, the binary representation of the integer n will be stored in the array bin array, but it will be present in reverse order, and we also need it in an integer format. So I am creating a new long variable named bin and setting its value to 0. And now we have to iterate from the last of the array. So I am creating a loop that iterates from L-1 till 0, and in every iteration we will be performing bin is equal to bin star print plus arr of I. So what will be happening is all the integers present in the array will be converted into a single integer. So finally we return the value of that binary. So this is how this function bin works. So we will be using the value of this binary in our main function to concatenate the binary representations. So x and y will be concatenated, will be stored into the concatenated bin 1, and then y and x will be concatenated and stored into the character array concatenated bin 2. So now we have to find the decimal value of the concatenated binary representations. So to do that, again we will create a function named decimal. So after sprintf, we will be checking the decimal. So if the decimal of the concatenated bin 1 is greater than the decimal of the concatenated bin 2, then we print the decimal of the concatenated bin 1, because we have to print the maximum decimal in our output. Else we print the concatenated bin 2's decimal value. So now let us see how this function decimal works. So this function is also of return type long, and it accepts a character array in its arguments. So in this function, first I am creating two integer variables. The first integer is degree, and then another integer variable is len. And for degree I am setting the value as 0, and for len I am assigning the value string length of str. And now we also have to find the decimal value. So it can be big integer. So I am creating long decimal is equal to 0. So now we have to convert this binary array into a decimal value. So to do that, we will be iterating from last, and whenever the character is 1, we will be adding 2 power degree to the decimal value. So I am creating a loop that iterates from len minus 1 till 0, and in every iteration we will be incrementing the value of the variable degree, and also we will be checking whether the character is equal to 1 or not. So if the character is equal to 1, then we add 2 power degree to the decimal. So whenever str of I is equal to 1, we perform the action decimal plus is equal to 2 power degree. So finally, after the execution of the loop, the decimal value is returned. So that will be the decimal value of the integer. So in our main function also, if the decimal of concatenated bin 1 is greater than the decimal of concatenated bin 2, we print the decimal of concatenated bin 1. Else we print the decimal of concatenated bin 2. Now let us check our program with sample test cases. So this is our sample input 1, and our expected output is 122. So we also get 122 as our output. So now let us give our sample input 2, and for sample input 2 our expected output is 88. So we also get 88. So this is the logic behind today's daily challenge. Thank you for watching.